Hi, Professor Austin here, talking about IT74, and just going to show you what we're going to be doing with the lab activity. I'm going to have another video that's going to show you how to come in. I'll be talking about the little sticker you get when you get on campus, but first I want to show you what we're going to be doing in here. We're going to be making some things. We're going to be at 5 different locations. You can have 5 different times you come in for 2-hour sessions at a time. And you're going to be doing, there's only one thing that's a little different from what had happened in previous semesters. And there's just no way to make that happen. But it would be too time consuming and too costly. I'll get to that when I do the casting. But you're going to be making all the things that are out here. You're going to turn a piece of aluminum into this piece of aluminum with some holes in it, including a hole that you're going to cut threads in so that you can put a screw in it. That's going to be using this milling machine that all this demonstration is set up at. You're going to take a piece of plastic and create something like this. This is a little bit smaller than the one you're going to be making, but you can put your earbuds in each end, wrap it around, and you can hold your earbuds. You can take a piece of aluminum and create this. May not look like much, but you can take a file and use it as a file handle so you don't have that tang should you ever get a file from the hardware store. Those 2 projects are going to be made with a lathe. Then we're going to do 2 types of welding. You're going to do gas welding, and you're going to do that, you're going to be making taking some pieces of metal and laying them together and welding them using oxyacetylene. And you're going to do a piece where you're going to cut some angles, drill and tap some holes into it, and then weld it up. For arc welding, you're going to do the classics, which is panels with different welding rods. For example, you're going to be writing the name of the rod back on the back. Your samples of that probably look a little more like this. And there may be a couple of other welds as we go forward with that. You're also going to do a casting. This little guy you're going to use the molds from previous classes, and that's one of the reasons making the mold is fairly expensive, and I did it in groups, so the cost was scattered down to lab fees from 6 students was enough to pay for that mold. But one at a time, each one person doing it would make it a little too expensive. But this plastic is nice and cheap, and so you're going to make this. This is where you can stick your USB sticks in here. It actually does work. And you're going to make a box like this in which you can keep everything. You're going to be assigned a locker. More about that when I go through the process of doing everything else. But what I need you to do is bring some things with you. We don't have a textbook, so you're going to have to get some other things. First and foremost, safety glasses. This kind will go over, if you wear regular glasses, a big kind like this can go over it. Ones like this are good. They need to be clear, not shaded. If you've got a pair of shaded because you work outdoors, don't do it because the lighting in here is abysmal. You need to get a set of digital calipers, and you can get one like this, and it'll have a little arm that comes out. This is made out of metal. They run about $12, $15 at Harbor Freight or online. You can also, it'll be okay to get one that's made out of plastic. This one, the plastic ones generally don't have the extruding arm out the back, but you really won't need that. We're not going to measure any depth, but we will be doing a lot of measurements to figure out how the diameters of a lot of these things, the widths. You're going to need digital calipers, and these will be useful for you throughout your life if you're going to stay in any kind of mechanical process. You might want to get a 6-inch rule. We'll have some rules around. Those are very handy. You also need to bring with you a permanent marker, like a Sharpie, preferably a small one, not some big giant one, and a pencil. We're going to have a set of drawings for you, and I'm just going to go ahead and print the little pack and give it to you. The process is going to be that we're going to have to sign up, of course, for a day when you're going to be working. And they're going to be in 2-hour slots. You'll come in at staggered times. There'll be 2 people working on mills at a time, 2 people working on lathes at a time. But before you come in, you'll have to watch a series of videos. I've made a bunch of short videos showing exactly how to make this part. And you're going to want to be able to write your name on it. And so when you watch the videos, you're going to have to fill out a form that shows that you have paid attention, that you've looked at it, that you know how it's going to work. You'll come in, you'll do it, then you'll write another form that will say, here's what I actually did. But, and there'll be one for each of the 5 stations. The stations are oxyacetylene welding, arc welding, sheet metal and casting, mill work, and lathe work. So expect 2 hours for each of those. So that's 10 hours of lab time, which is really fairly close to what happens in a non-pandemic semester. So we're going to have you're going to be doing some stuff, and it's going to be good. And like I say, watch the videos that come on about each one of those stations beforehand. Okay, that's what we're going to be making.